What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how to attack a DB's leverage. So we're going to be talking about how you guys can run an out route against off man, how you guys can work this fade route when this DB's kind of like in this catch technique, inside shade, inside leverage. And then we're going to be talking about how you guys can attack a head up DB to create some separation. So all this is going to be about is how you guys can just structure your routes, the IQ behind attacking leverage, what that means for a DB, and how you guys can create more separation. And guys, if you're a football player and you want to get faster, you want to be more explosive, check out that very first link in the description. It says Get Faster, a full 28-day speed workout plan designed to get you faster, improve your 40-yard dash, and make you a more explosive athlete. Again, check out that link in the description. It says speed workout plan, improve your speed, get faster. Let's get started with this breakdown. So first things first, this DB is going to be in this off-man technique inside shade, right? So he's inside leverage right here, right? So the main thing that DBs are taught when they're inside shade, let's watch this thing again, full speed. So Claypool's going to come off here, attack his midline, hit him with this like 1-2, this rocker step, and then accelerate out of this break, right? And come back to the ball. Now, you see how when he comes off the line, if this DB's outside shade, is a common mistake that a lot of receivers make. When a guy is outside shade like this, what they think is, oh, I could just run it out. He's giving me the outside. I'm just going to take it right now. I don't have to attack him. I don't have to give him any moves. I'm just going to run the route. The problem with that is when he's an off man, right? How you can tell it's off man. He's inside shade. Where are his eyes? Eyes are on Claypool. If you just run straight, he's going to run to you, get hands, wall you to the sideline, force you there. You're going to get there too fast. You're not going to have a clean break, and the quarterback's not going to be ready to throw the ball to you when you get there. And if he is going to throw it to you, it's going to be late, which makes this DB more susceptible to picking it off, right? So we want to attack this DB to try to move him off that. Okay, so there's a couple different things that he could do here. When I come off the line and I square him up, you guys want to attack his midline, right? So you see at this DB, the midline is that line that goes down the middle of his body. So I come off the line, I attack his midline because that forces him to do a couple of things. This DB is either going to keep his leverage to the inside. Fine, so what? He doesn't want to chase. The whole reason why he's inside leverage is because he doesn't want to chase us. He's in man coverage. He probably doesn't have safety help. He doesn't want to chase us across the field for 50 yards. So he's going to stay inside shade and keep his leverage if I attack his leverage, right? So what? If he keeps his leverage, fine by me. I'm just widening the space that I have to the sideline. I attack him. I square him up. I attack that midline. He keeps his leverage, fine. Now I got to make sure that I leave him to the outside. I don't make a lazy break because, again, just like how we have more space to run, he also has more space to run. So I got to make sure that I square him up, attack his midline. Now I give him something to move him off that platform. Now, let's say I were to be running a dig or something like that. I'd be doing the exact same thing. Even if he was keeping his leverage, I would maybe make a move to the outside. Maybe I'd run a square cut, and I'd throw my body out to the left to try to get him to jump. But when you attack the DB's leverage, it puts him on the defensive, right? So you see how we get him to backpedal? We square him up. Again, we're attacking that midline. We're trying to close the distance. Close the distance anytime you're attacking leverage, and it's off man. And now you see how Claypool works that 1-2, and where does he move his body? He throws his upper half, and he throws his hip, right? So that's the thing. DB's going to be looking at those hips. So if you throw your hip out almost like a crossover, but at the same time you keep your toes forward so you keep that weight on the inside arch of your foot so you could push and you could drive and you could accelerate out, that's how we create space, right? Because it's all about being able to sell vertical, and in this case attack a DB while I'm selling vertical, get some separation at the top of my upper half, be a salesman, but also create energy with my legs, create energy with that cut so I could push and get some explosion and turn that into acceleration so I could widen the distance, right? Because by attacking his leverage, like I said, you have all this space to the sideline. So I got to make sure that I win the race back to the ball. I get this DB to be off that platform. All right, we want to freeze him. Now let's leave him. Let's make sure I'm accelerating out of there. I snap my head around. I continue to pump those arms and widen the distance with the DB. Great job for Claypool coming back to the ball as well, a little bit late. But that's how we attack a DB. That's an off man. You want to square him up, attack his midline. He keeps his leverage to the inside. Fine. If you got to run a dig and he keeps his leverage, that's when we maybe work a square cutter. I work another rocker step. I throw my body to the outside and maybe run a dig. It's all about attacking that DB, squaring him up, and trying to get him on the defensive. Let's watch this thing again, full speed one more time. So he comes off here, squares him up, hits him with that 1-2, make sure we accelerate out. Great job here by Claypool. All right, so now we're going to be talking about what you want to do off the line when it comes to attacking a DB's leverage on just a regular fade route, okay? So this is a great release that you guys can use. So DB's in this kind of like catch technique, right? Waiting for us to come at him so he could get hands and wall. Same idea. I got to run a fade right here. Biggest mistake people make. And just, it's a lot of the times it's about knowing the reason why, fellas. It's just knowing the reason why behind all these certain movements. And if you guys can understand the reason why, it makes life a whole hell of a lot easier when it's time to apply these things. Because anybody can apply it. Anybody can do the footwork. Anybody can do the technique. But do you know when to use it? So this DB's in this catch technique inside shade, right? Why wouldn't I just take off right now and just run a fade to the outside? Because because that DB's going to do the same thing. He's going to turn his hips, he's going to open up with me, he's going to get hands on me, and he's going to force me to the sideline, and you're going to have like a yard or two of space, and that's the most impossible throw for a quarterback to make, and he's going to come off the read, right? So we got to make sure that I attack this DB's leverage to move him, right? I want to move him off his platform. And same thing if you guys maybe got to run a slant in this case, right? Like if this DB's too far inside shade for you to work like a diamond release where you take 3 steps to the outside, you might want to square him up, try to get him on the defensive, try to get him on those heels, to give him a 1-2, or just give him a single jab and run a slant. There's many different ways that you can do this. I know we're looking at 2 outside breaking routes right here, but it's the same thing with an inside breaking route. But there are a lot of different things you could do. Maybe he's closer, you could work more of a diamond release, which is 3 steps to the outside. But you see how Metcalf, he squares him up. What does he do? Attacks that midline. What does Peterson do? He keeps his leverage, stays inside shade, doesn't want to chase him over the middle of the field, so he's going to keep his leverage and take away the inside. So what I got to do is I want to square him up and make him think that I'm going inside. So I square him up and I hit him with a 1-2, right? And you see again, DB's going to be watching my hips, right? He's going to be watching these hips. So if I throw my hips to the outside, I keep my toe forward, so I keep that weight on the inside arch of my foot. And by toe forward, I mean just not opening up your toes this way and opening up your hip to where you're not explosive, but you throw and you sell with your upper half right here. Get that explosion from that cut. Make sure your feet are sudden, because your feet being sudden gives you that explosion. And now when I get this DB to move off this platform and I attack his leverage and I want to take an outside release, which hand do I have to beat? I know I got to beat his left hand because you're trying to take an outside release. So that's all you got to do to get to that outside release. It's not super complicated. So I square him up, give him this little foot fire, or you could just kind of hesitate at him, or you could just come out fast right now. There's a lot of different ways that you can approach this thing, but we got to throw that 1-2. I got to sell with my upper half, and I got to get him to move off of this block, right? If I get him to move off of this block, move to the right here, and you see how he throws this hand out for recovery, but if you sell with your upper half, we get him off that platform. And then if we could swat this hand by like Metcalf does, he just kind of a quick little swat right here, it gets his hips to lock out. And then if I get his hips to lock out, I move him off that platform, I can keep my head down, I can pump those arms and use the explosion from that cut. Obviously, this is all stuff that just comes natural. This is all muscle memory. This is not something he's thinking about while he's running. I put my head down, I continue to drive my arms, and I widen the distance from this DB, and now I got space to work. Now the quarterback can actually fade me outside rather than have to put this thing perfectly because I just took an outside release. So that's the benefit of attacking leverage. We can get a ton of separation. You see how Russell fades him with that ball. Great job here by Metcalf attacking leverage off the line of scrimmage. That's something we have to be able to do as a receiver. Square this DB up. You can either change tempo, come at him fast, come at him with a foot fire, maybe a little footwork release, but at the end of the day, it's about moving him off that platform. Make him keep his leverage. Throw a 1-2, burst up to the outside, try to get him to lean, and make sure you're selling with your upper half. Let's watch this thing again full speed. So he attacks him, throws the 1-2, burst upfield, keep my head down, drive those arms, and make this play over the top. Great job by Metcalf. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about it when the DB's like head up on you, right? So what do you want to do in this situation? We got to run a slant right here. So Jefferson, again, DB's kind of in this, like, I would say maybe catch technique. I guess you could say we don't see the full coverage, so we're not too sure what his technique is here, but he's head up, right? So he's not inside shade, not outside shade. I don't really have to angle my stem too much. I don't have to like almost do this like squirt release like the last one. That's kind of what they call it squirt release. I just want to go straight at him, right? I want to close this distance because I want to try to get him on his heels and get him on the defensive. So what does Jefferson do here? He decides to come out with like just a 1-2-3. A 3 quick move. So he goes left, right, left. But the whole time he's closing the distance. And he's got to sell with his upper half because same thing. Where is he going to be watching? He's going to be watching those hips. So we come off the line here. You see how he goes here? 1, 2, 3. But the whole time he's closing the distance with this DB, trying to get him on the defensive, try to get him on that back pedal. That's what we got. Anytime we got a head up DB, or maybe you're out of the slot and you got a linebacker who's trying to get real physical. Maybe they're going like some kind of brackets look on you, right? I want to square him up. I don't want to be afraid. I don't want to try to run around him because that's how I can get rerouted and I screw up the timing and the spacing of the play. I want to go at him. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure I'm sudden with my feet, sell with my upper half, get this DB to lean off that platform. And you see how we get him to be so much on his heels here because I'm coming off the line so explosive. Selling with my upper half, trying to get his hips to turn, I'm able to make this DB fall and make a play on this thing and break to the slant. That's a great route here by Jefferson. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Again, head up DB in this catch technique, maybe 2 to 3 yards off. Let's attack him. Let's go straight at him. Let's try to close the distance because that forces him to be on his heels, forces him to lean back, and I can create some space. Let's watch the thing again, full speed. So coming out here, 1, 2, 3, get him on those heels, get him leaning back, make sure I accelerate on this break and make a play. It's a great route. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, if you guys have any questions at all, please leave those in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But also, guys, if you want to get faster and you want to be more explosive, you want to improve your 40 time, check out that very first link in the description that says improve your speed, get faster. Hope to get you guys on that program soon, full 28-day speed program. I'll see you guys next time.